In the quiet elegance of a Virginia plantation home, Martha Jenkins, a 70-year-old black woman, had been the devoted housekeeper for the wealthy Richardson family for over 40 years. Her days were filled with the familiar rhythm of cleaning, cooking, and caring for the family's every need. She had raised the children, comforted them through illnesses, and celebrated their milestones. Her presence was as much a part of the plantation as the antique furniture and the towering oak trees that lined the drive. On this particular afternoon, Martha was polishing the silver in the formal dining room. The sunlight streamed through the tall windows, casting a warm glow on the intricate patterns of the china cabinet. The room was filled with the scent of beeswax and the soft hum of the old grandfather clock in the hallway. As she worked, she heard the distant sound of a car pulling up the drive. The front door opened and closed, followed by the familiar voices of Mrs. Richardson and her daughter Emily. Martha paused her work, listening to the muffled conversation. She could hear the excitement in Emily's voice, but the words were indistinct. Suddenly, the door to the dining room swung open, and Emily rushed in, her eyes sparkling with joy. Behind her, Mrs. Richardson entered, her expression more reserved but equally happy. Emily, a young woman in her late 20s, was radiant. She wore a simple sundress, and her dark hair was pulled back in a loose ponytail. Her eyes were filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Martha," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "I have something to tell you. Something wonderful." Martha put down the silver polish and cloth, her heart pounding in her chest. She had known Emily since she was a baby, and the young woman had always been like a daughter to her. "What is it, sweetheart?" Martha asked, her voice gentle. Emily took a deep breath and looked at her mother, who nodded encouragingly. "Martha," Emily began, "I'm pregnant." The words hung in the air for a moment before Martha's face broke into a wide, genuine smile. "Oh, Emily," she said, her eyes welling up with tears of joy. "That's wonderful news. Congratulations." Emily rushed forward and embraced Martha tightly. "Thank you, Martha," she whispered. "You've always been like a second mother to me. I can't wait for you to meet your grandbaby." Martha's heart swelled with love and pride. She had always dreamed of having grandchildren, and the thought of Emily's baby filled her with a warmth she hadn't known in years. "I'm so happy for you, Emily," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I can't wait to see you become a mother. You're going to be wonderful." Mrs. Richardson, who had been watching the exchange with a mixture of pride and sadness, stepped forward. "Martha," she said, her voice soft, "we have more news. Emily and her husband have decided to name the baby after you. In honor of everything you've done for our family." Martha's eyes widened in surprise and gratitude. She had never expected such an honor, and the thought of a baby named after her brought tears to her eyes. "That's too kind," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "I don't know what to say." Emily took Martha's hand and squeezed it tightly. "You don't have to say anything. Martha, your love and dedication have meant the world to us. We want to honor you in this special way." As the three women stood there, sharing in the joy of the moment, Martha couldn't help but feel a deep sense of contentment and love. She had spent her life serving the Richardson family, and to be recognized in such a meaningful way was more than she could have ever hoped for. Little did she know, however, that this moment of joy would soon be overshadowed by a painful reminder of the prejudice that still lingered in the shadows.